everyone, and welcome once again to TFT, Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with Oberon and Banshee, and me, Oberon, with Goth Tarot. And it's my weekly look into the shadow parts of our lives, the things that we deny or can't deal with. We project other things from or through them or with them. It's complicated, but we try to sort it out. And we do that with a week by week focus on a monthly issue. So just to recap, this month's issue is from, as always, The Cries of the Soul's Oracle by Isabel Surf and illustrated by Daphne Sefbane. Hope I didn't spell that incorrectly. Maybe I should hold it up a little bit. And it's a brilliant work. We love using it. We've been using it for months now. And we just draw a card, and then we see that it fits our pattern, and we work with it. And so we drew Family Loyalty. And I have to tell you, this was a really great one. You could still review it. It's in our playlist. Just go there. Maybe I'll put a link at the end if you need it. But family loyalty involves the patterns and codependencies that are transgenerational, and they really kind of force us to play roles we don't want to, or crush our own dreams or passions. But we want to break out, but we can't bear to, and so we just keep perpetuating this tradition, because it was always done before. So we're going to update that, but I think the work was really complete, and later on through these cards we will talk about that other part of that, I think. But here we go. We're going to start off with an opening meditation from the Earth and Bone Oracle, and that's by Syrian Shadow. And we have several of his works. We have 3 or 4 including that, and they're absolutely wonderful. We totally love them and get them, and we recommend them as powerful oracles. All right, so here we go, and as usual we just draw from random and see what we get. Somehow it always works out. Well, I don't believe we've had this one before. It's Trinity. Let's look it up. Balancing decisions, priorities, adapting to change. When you have so many wishes, focus on manifesting one at a time. Your energy may be too spread out. Keep in mind, not every wish may be a blessing. Weigh the pros and cons and hyper-focus on one. Prioritize your energy to meet one goal and move on once achieved. You may be needing to pivot if what you seek isn't aligned for your greatest good. Make a list of all you are grateful for. Stop focusing on what you get. Start focusing on what you give. Listen to your intuition when the universe is revealing the truth. You'll know it by what aligns and feels right. Some say they experience ringing in their ears. You may experience a deafening sensation with a pleasant pressure in your ears that makes you feel slightly euphoric. Ultimately, you'll feel an expansion and excitement when you are aligned with the right step. You'll know when something is false and out of alignment, when you experience struggle, discomfort, agitation, irritability, or restlessness. The universe is saying, listen to your body. Your sensations and emotions are your key. Affirmation. My focus and determination are in alignment with my greatest good. I am productive and complete tasks efficiently. I trust my inner guidance. And that's simply wonderful. So I hope you got something for that. And I think it's a little bit of key towards the work that we're doing here. The idea that there's a lot to take in sometimes when it comes to the family loyalties or any other shadows that we're working on. They are complicated because almost all the shadows involve a sense of codependency between ourselves and someone or thing else, and that we sort of use that as a scapegoat or as a way to kind of push off, criticisms or things like that. And once again, like I said, it's pretty complicated. Taking a little sip here. So anyways, that is this particular shadow. So now we are going to update that by using our Shadow Work Tarot, and we will look at that as a way of saying, has there been progress? What will it tell us about the progress that we've been able to do? I'll leave that there. And by the way, I'm swapping in a couple of new decks to use for the reading. I'm using the Whispers of Time, and I'm also using the By Any Means Necessary. And I'll announce them again exactly where they're being mixed in. So this and another deck that will use right after this are picked because they are specifically intended to be shadow work kind of tarots, and they are from the company known as Erethereal. I tend to mention them a lot because I'm perfectly delighted with the quality of the decks as well as the read I get from them. The imagery is really perfect for Shadow Tarot, and I've been easily able to adapt it to how I read and the work that I do. So once again, this card is being drawn to be considered showing us what the progress is on working with family loyalty. And it's the King of Cups. And the King of Cups says, there still could be this sense of an emotional dependency on somebody that you consider to be your mentor or benefactor, or the kind, person who's the patriarch. And some of that could be true. There's no doubt about that. It could be true. The card is upright, and that's normally the idea there. But when we're talking about the concept of family loyalty and stuck in an emotional pattern of dependency, this may throw us a clue that there is a pattern going on with somebody who represents a patriarch or father type figure. It's not necessarily a male, and it could just be the attitudes and mindset that are within us based on the overall idea of traditions and upholding that legacy. In that sense, this could be saying that the progress is good, that you have been pulling away from that, and that you're looking at things more from the compassionate, true, emotional nature. I like that. So we could go with either of those. Well, now we'll turn to the next Shadow Work Tarot. This one is called the Opaline Tides, and it's also made by Erethereal. And I've decided to use it as a kind of twofer in a way. So I'm going to interpret it as both a tide coming in and a tide coming out. And what I mean by that is maybe the sense that there's an energy, or there's a situation or something that is coming in, but there's another one that's going out. To do that, I'm probably going to read both versions of the card, the upright and the reversed. Okay, so from the Opaline Tides, interesting. So I said that this was an energy moving in and or energy moving out. And of course, it's death. And that's humongously cosmic in a sense too. It could be saying that there's a great energy or a great sense of change, and then there's also the inertia or energy that works against it. And you know, that's almost like talking about the idea of being codependent, where you can't break out of this pattern, and things keep pulling you back to that central idea. In this case, you know, not displeasing the family, sticking with the loyalty. Oops, I wanted to adjust that camera. We'll settle for that. So that's very interesting, as they say. I wonder what else I want to comment here. I think that's good for now. If I have any other observations, I may put them on a low legend scrolling across the screen here. So now we're going to move on to the next part, which is some additional cards from some additional decks. And the first one is familiar. It's the Dark Detour, which we use the Midnight Boulevard for. And the Dark Detour is saying, what is the road you take, or the way you move, or whatever, that takes you away from dealing with the shadow work. And so in this case, being family loyalty, you know, it could still be situations about the family or things of that nature, but you're using them as excuses or as actual things that you have said, no, that's more important than dealing with, you know, how this cripples me in a way. I would rather say I have to work on this other thing. So like I said, we're going to work with the Midnight Boulevard. And I forget, I got it from a website called Tavada.com, and I really like that website. Beautiful stuff. This is the only deck I bought from them. It was perfect. And also the cloth here that I used for the readings was also from Tavada. I should check in with them again. They're definitely a little bit more upscale than normal, so you watch for the deals or the markdowns. There are some. I tend to want to pay the fair good price, but I will look for some of these sales. Like I said, these are incredibly wonderful and artistic cards. And there's a number of Lenormands and other types of oracles too. Devada.com. So once again, what is the dark detour we take to pull us away from dealing with our family loyalty issues? Oh, and it's the reversed Nine of Pentacles. So the reversed Nine of Pentacles, we're saying we're out of our element, and that we're just basically saying we can't function emotionally, mentally, physically, whatever it is, when we're outside of the comfort zone. And of course, the comfort zone is the sense of how the family loyalty insulates us, keeps us from making decisions on our own behalf because we have to consider the group, things of that sort. So we're using the family as the excuse for not dealing with the family, because there's something else going on that's more important, an issue, you know. And of course that did relate to some degree to what we were talking about with, you know, last week, some of the other sections on family loyalty. So it seems quite appropriate. We'll move on now. And now we're going to look at the dark twist. And the dark twist are truly unknown factors that could happen and maybe interfere with our work. So they're just things to watch for. They may be related to the shadow or to other shadow issues we could be dealing with. So for this reading, I'm going to use the Whispers of Time, which is a newer deck for me. And I love this deck too. It's pretty new. I only got it about a month ago. Oops, I'll have to pick those up. But let's finish this draw first. The Whispers of Time Tarot. What's the dark twist? What are the unknown factors that could possibly interfere with all this? And bam, it's a loss of everything that also starts to make us question our affiliations. And of course, it's not a full loss, but we're once again refusing to see another part of the picture. I won't say the bigger picture, but I will say another part of the picture. So that is crucial in a way to understanding that the twist could affect us emotionally in ways that make it hard for us to continue the good work that we're trying to do here. So keep that in mind and try to remain level-headed when stuff begins to arise. So that was the dark twist. And now we're going to do the dark spiral. And the dark spiral is the situations around us that drain us. And they could be that same concept of the shadow, but rather it's just everything else going on in our life that drains us. But mostly we're looking at maybe a major thing that we obsess over or we allow to pull energy or power from us. It could be a part of ourselves. It could be other people. So it could be externals in that sense. I'm using the By Any Means Necessary tarot for this to show us what it is that is draining our energy. And this is by a company called By Any Means Necessary. They don't do tarot cards apparently, but they did this deck. They mostly do t-shirts, stickers, posters, and things that are basically very pro-resistance. but I thought the tarot deck was worthy. Very, very nice. Simplistic in a way, but nice. Picturesque enough. Tones are more monoscale. A lot of silver gilt on the edges. They shuffle easy. They seem to be pretty durable cards. And then the only drawback was the box is nice. But the only drawback was that there's no instruction book. So I just apply things exactly the way I should. I like to have the other perspectives from a card maker or reader or interpreter, but at the end of the day, I'm not beholden to that. So what is the dark spiral? What's draining us? What's the drain? And it's the Hierophant reversed. And this is pretty appropriate in a way because the Hierophant reversed talks about how we can thrive better in this context by letting chaos happen in our life, chaos that maybe we can control or chaos that we can benefit from. So the dark drainage is maybe allowing the chaos to have too much importance to us. It could just be saying letting more randomness happen. But when it's the Hierophant reversed, there's a strong tendency of and misordering things around us and breaking rules to break rules or to try to be, once again, part of the resistance, whatever you are, whatever that is that you are resisting. So I don't think this is cautionary so much as just saying that these are things that are going to happen and you should just be aware of them if they do. It's not an absolute, possibility that they will, but you just never know for sure. All right, so there's only one thing to do, and that's to check out with our final oracle reading and affirmation, and that is from the Dark Light Oracle, which I regularly use. So let's peace out with that. I want to thank everybody for coming, and by all means, please critique me. Tell me what you think I could do better, or tell me what you think you like here. Suggestions for other things. I know people say like, oh, you use so many decks, Well, the thing is I rely on the stimuli of these artistic visions of various creators for that point, the Dark Destiny or the Dark Whispers or whatever it is we're talking about, to give me, a boost to my intuition, hopefully. I mean, I am doing this collectively for people who tune in. It's hard to say if who benefits from this is everybody. And I don't even know necessarily that everyone with Goth tendencies understands these situations. So by all means, if it's not for you, but you say, hey, I know somebody who's dealing with this situation, or it seems like it, we'll pass the word on. We would love it. We love new subscribers and we love people that we're helping out. All right, so let me focus here and draw our affirmation. Once again, that's from the Dark Light Oracle. Winter, frozen hearts. Winter, the frozen hearts. Ice, frost, snow, and desolation surround me now. Winter has invaded my heart. The last petals of my red rose will soon die too. My cheeks have lost their colors. My flesh is cold and pale. It's hard to imagine a future. Yet maybe spring will come again one day. Maybe I should just sleep and hope. Perhaps I will get through this painful moment of mourning and loss. I allow solitude and acceptance to guide me, knowing that another cycle will begin after everything that once was dies away. Has December frozen you too? Are you in grief? Then do not try to escape the pain. Accept the feeling into your heart. Let your tears run out of your eyes. Give your soul a moment of true mourning. This is the only way to get through these dark periods of life. Affirmation. I accept to let go what I cannot retain. I accept this loss, and I accept to feel the pain of mourning. I know that when this winter is gone, spring will find me again. And so once again, that was from the Dark Light Oracle. I want to thank everybody for coming to Goth Tarot this week. I hope that it was suitable for you. I think when we're looking at the Winter Heart, this could be saying that, the Frozen Heart, that this could be saying that it's talking about what we talked about, you know, the various things that could be some external factors, but all of them amount to ways we allow ourselves to rationalize not working here. And so that in a sense does freeze our hearts because we're still preventing this growth. And we're only at week 2 here, so hopefully things can get better. I want to remind everybody to watch our Thursday night show, TFT, Tarot for Today, After Dark. It's our evening show in our Eastern Standard Time from 7 to 9 p.m. So it's pretty much like our other live stream on Sundays. Just come, ask a question. It tends to be not as busy as Sunday, so come early anyway, because if we don't have enough business, we'll close early. But we can answer most questions, or we'll give it our best. On Friday morning, I do the emotional exchanges, and it's a reading for all the signs of the zodiac. And I try to find out what is going to be your emotional tone or feel of the week, whether or not you'll have an emotional rescue, something that helps you out emotionally, and whether or not someone will say, I love you for this week. And that's for every sign of the zodiac. So that's Fridays at 7 a.m. Saturdays is happy hour, and that's at 10 a.m. And that's a 1-card reading for everybody in the chat room. It's just an hour long, so once again, there's a limitation. Get there early, or you may encounter our closed list. But it's a live show, and it's Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. On Sunday, Banshee's Material Matters is at 10 a.m. That's a recorded show, but we are live in the chat room. You can join us there. We hang out with our tarot tribe, and we talk about Banshee's reading and just about anything else going on in the world of business, education, and finance. And then later on, Sunday afternoon from 2 to 4 p.m. is our regular live stream. Again, arrive early. We're very busy, and we'll close up. We don't do a lot of overtime there, so you want to arrive before the list closes. All right, everybody, take care. I'll see you next week for Goth Tarot. Bye now.